Welcome to the video. First of all, not a hate video, just sharing comments and criticisms. Many of you asked me over the time, Will Tennyson, is he natty or not? So we just googled up, Will Tennyson Jesus or not? Jeff Nipper, Greg Doucet, so Mark Wahlberg, so it doesn't look good for the natty status. Let's get into it. This is a Reddit thread here. We're going to go for Instagram. I'm going to go through just a criticism here. This is, again, just criticism. Will makes his income on his muscularity, all right? When someone earns money based on their physique, a male, muscle, do you think there is a chance they may be tempted to use anabolic androgenic steroids? I don't know about that. Why would you use steroids? I don't know. They're expensive. And if you live in America or Canada, they're very hard to get. It's not like you can just go online and order anabolic steroids from you can't do that, surely. You got to go for a doctor, and even then, you can't get them pretty much. So pretty much from the get-go, we can't even get steroids. But let's just say we could. Let's just say we lived in a magical world where they had this thing called the internet. You just, boom, punch in numbers and get stuff delivered to your door. Let's just say that was happening. Is this guy using? So look at that muscularity here, and let's go. This is the before shot. We always got to have the before shot here. In my opinion, this kid's definitely taking nothing. A 20-something kid taking steroids. Only when you're 40 plus would you think of doing that. So this is the kid here, so you can sort of see the genetics we're working with here. All right. So we can see the genetics we're working with here, and this answers a lot of questions. This is a thread on the Reddit forum, Natty or Juice. A bit about my backgrounds, all right? I'm age 44. I've been around anabolic steroids since 1997 when I was in my mate's kitchen, and he's like, mate, let's give you a little bit of this stuff called Decadurabolin, Nandrolone Decanoate. And I was like, no. And I didn't use steroids until 2014. So I was like natty for God knows how many years that is. But I was always curious. I worked in the gym. I worked alongside a lot of steroid users and stuff like that. But I was always like, no, I wouldn't do that stuff. And then eventually curiosity got the better of me, and I started dabbling here and there with prescription grade anabolic steroids. So my judgment is based on my personal experience. And I've been around a lot of steroid users over the last 2 decades. So... But yeah, that's my qualifications there. A lot of kids out there have never even used steroids, or they've bought some fake stuff and they're just like, oh, it didn't work. And it's like, you got ripped off, man. You got ripped off. Is this kid on gear? He makes his money. Let's have a look. Let's here. Let's just follow the money trail. First of all, what does Greg Doucet say? Greg Doucet says he's natty. And we know that Greg Doucet, I know that Greg Doucet, in my opinion, is full of nonsense in some of his claims. Yeah, he's all about, in my opinion, what it takes to be. Look at this, So he's basically being, keeping that fake natty Murta going on there, in my opinion. And so Greg Doucet, Greg Doucet is the sort of guy who says he's only running 140 milligrams of test a week. So it's like, why, in my opinion, would you trust a guy like that on the internet? That's just like Greg, mate. Like, we know. What are you doing, bro? Like, it's. For anyone of half a brain cell who's got an experience in this field knows that you're taking, in my opinion, way more than 140 milligrams a week. I'm just doing a bit of TRT. TRT makes you look normal. It doesn't make you look like a bodybuilder. And as soon as you cycle off the big cycles, you shrink right down and you look more normal. You don't look like you're still blasting. Greg, in my opinion, is still blasting anabolics. Let's go to Will Tennyson. And again, no hate. I'm just calling it out as I see it, in my opinion here. So this is it. This is how these kids make their money. Here's the thing. This kid looks like he's coming from a rich family anyway. So it's not like he needs to, scam noobs out there. Look, 10% discount on whey supplements. So these kids out there, these 14-year-old, 15-year-old kids out there, the ectomorphs, etc., thinking, I'm going to, have Will Tenny's or Greg Doucet's freaking, supplements, and I'm going to get swole. That's really, in my opinion, misleading. It's really misleading. All right, let's have a look at some of the pics here. He doesn't show any of his old pics from back in the day. Let's have a look here. Is this his mum? Or is this Greg Doucet's girlfriend? I think it's his mum. Mum went to gym. So you can see he's got, coming from ectomorph genetics, and his kid is 26. But if you look at his videos from only 2 years ago, you can see his face has aged massively. Not in a bad way. I mean, you can look at my face, and before I use steroids, it's like you go from boy to man. So, and just your upper body, you get that level of muscularity and matureness once you use a certain amount of dosage. So this kid is hanging around guys who are using steroids, and he's looking like he's using steroids, in my opinion. Look at that. He's got like so much breast tissue coming out of there, so much pec, so much muscle is popping out. It's like if that was a girl, you'd think, wow, she's got a pretty decent rack, a large rack, I should say. So you can see here, this kid's just hanging around other steroid users. All right, this is just how it is, You can just see it in his videos and some of his faces as well. His faces in some of the videos. It's just, he's just 26. Like, look at if you cut his head off, if you chopped his head off, he's got a very baby face for his age. But if you look at the physique, like, he looks very, very super mature. This is, he's got more muscle than any drugged up East European powerlifter who's testing positive. You know what I mean? So, but again, this kid's natural because Greg Doucet said he is. Let's flick through here. Let's look through a video. Let's find one we can hear. Here we go. All right, so here we go. This is one of Greg Doucet's videos, and you can sort of see here, you can sort of see what's going on here. So the question is, it's 2021, all right? It's 2021. Why would someone stay natty? Why? Why would you stay natty? Why would you stay natty? Now, I'm not saying you should get on gear. I'm just saying if you're wanting to be a Gymshark sponsored kid, why would you stay natty when all the other Gymshark crew are juiced out of their eyeballs? All right? And for anyone who thinks Greg Doucet has only taken 140 milligram a week and maintaining that mass, look how thick he is. Like if Greg Doucet, his muscles is like a bulletproof vest. Like if he got shot with a 22, it'd probably bounce off his singlet, man, or get caught in his pec. Look how thick he is, man. Oh, Greg Doucet, he's small. No, look at that. That is not normal level of muscle for a human being. It's just not normal, man. And that's why people take anabolic steroids, because they don't want to look normal. So if you don't want to look normal, if you want people to go, wow, you look really different than you used to look, then that's what happens when you take enough anabolics and you keep taking them. Because as soon as you start taking them for a couple of weeks, the muscles start to deflate. All right. So Greg, this is where Greg's gift is he knows how to train. As soon as Greg opens his mouth on camera, though, I'm like, oh, I can't listen to this guy because, he's just talking absolute nonsense, man. Absolute nonsense. And remember, both of these guys are big proponents of low-calorie foods, and they both look abnormally large muscle-wise. All right, these guys are very lean. People go, oh, I'm as big as they are. Yeah, because you're fat. Because you're fat. We're talking, these guys are lean. You can see the veins popping through the biceps there, and they've got huge muscles. All right. Obviously, they're not mass monsters like some people are who taking 3 or 4 or 10 grams a week, but these guys are definitely running some serious compounds and just living that lifestyle. Look at the thickness there. Like Greg has to go like sideways through the door. All right, and that ain't 140 milligram a week. 140 milligram a week won't let you walk sideways through make you walk sideways through the door. Okay, we're talking 500-700 gram a week, easy. Otherwise, your muscle just shrinks right off. But again, Greg claims he's natty back in 2010, wherever, where he's obviously, in my opinion, definitely not. So this is the reality here. I mean, this kid can't even train. He's getting pointers from Greg. This is how inexperienced this kid is. And it's fine. Everyone's got to learn somewhere. I'm just saying, though, but this kid's got more muscle than, East European powerlifters with insane genetics. And this kid didn't have those genetics. And he did it natural. He did it with a Gymshark t-shirt and some protein supplements. And you can get 10% off if you use the code TENNY. But the reality is, kids, you'll never, ever, ever look like these guys unless you're also using what they're using. All right? And I ain't talking about the protein powders. I ain't talking about the creatine. I'm talking about that's what they're using, and they're training hard, and they're smashing in the food. All right, this is how it is. Like, that's why you can put in the work, and you can train for 30 years, 10 hours a day, and you'll never ever even look like these guys. This ascetic. And people say, no, I look like that. I look like that. Link me down below in the video if you're looking like that. You don't. All right, you don't, and that's okay. I'm just saying, there's certain looks you can get natty, and there's certain looks you can't. And these guys are definitely found Jesus.